Real quick, so Melissa popped on. Did we get?
Jody she's in there.
Okay, I didn't see her. None about Jen or Heather. Okay. So we'll get it started.
Yep, we're recording.
Oh, am I gonna? Okay, I will start us off.
We don't have Heather.
We don't have Heather.
All right. Well, good evening and welcome to this week's Thursday night shift. We hope you guys are enjoying these. I know that every week when we get off of these, we say to each other, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. We love this or we love that. And then we hear your guys' feedback. So we hope that you are enjoying it. As always, and I said this before we started the recording, if there's topics you want to see us covered in the future, you can drop those in the chat. You can send them to your Superstar Director, as we do have multiple groups represented in this training. And we will do our best to get those scheduled for one of our Thursday night shifts. So tonight, we didn't really talk about this before. So Jody, Melissa, Jill, we're kind of going to be shocked on this one, but I've been thinking all day, okay, what is a question that we could all answer to go along with tonight's topic of mindset to success? And so I was thinking if you have a way that you focus on your mindset, or you make sure that your mindset is in check to run your business every single day, or anything around mindset if you want to share it. But I know that's kind of broad. I kind of like just throw that out at you. I saw Melissa's face like, what?
Well, because I'm thinking you said every day, and I'm thinking today was not one of my more productive business days. So, who wants to go first? Callie? Why don't you lead us?
I'm doing the whole thing on mindset tonight. I'm going to give answers now.
All right, Jill.
I'll go.
Because I was reading the comments. I can't multitask.
First of all, having an off day where your mind is not one, productive, or two, working in your favor is common. So that's actually a great question for me. And I'm trying to add people while I'm talking, so I'm sorry. But it's kind of, this is going to be weird. I unplug like completely, like sometimes I'm not posting stories. I'm not online. Like I completely unplug, but at the same token, if you unplug for too long, your mind starts doing crazy things the opposite direction. So I totally plug in ways that are with my people, like people that are not having an off day. The best way to get your mind set is to be around people, because everyone's going to be on a different day, right? So when you're having an off day, everybody else won't be. And so I always say, if you're in a funk, to plug in to your people and people that can uplift you and that are like, come on, let's go, we can do this. And are reminding you not to compare yourself, because that's why I unplug a lot of the times. I think Callie and I were talking about it today, where, you're in all these groups. I think when you're new, you tend to like be in all these groups and you start going, oh, I need to do this and I need to do this. And oh, I'm going to try that. And I'm going to try this and I'm going to try this. And then you don't do anything because you're like, I'll never be as good as them. So I'm going to do nothing. And then you start playing with your mind. So I think you really have to focus on a couple things. And then if you just feel like you're overworked, tired, you have to unplug, but then you have to tell yourself, okay, I'm taking a day or I'm taking an hour, and then I'm going to jump back in. Too often consultants get in that funk and they just sit there and they don't plug back in. So that's what I do. I unplug, and then I find my people that can keep me on the right path.
I'm going to kind of piggyback off of what Jill said. I don't fully remember what the question was because I really was reading all of the comments and I wasn't listening. So I apologize for that. But I remember years ago, I was having, back when I had team meetings in my house, and I had a wretched, horrible day. And the last thing I wanted to do was entertain anybody or turn on my Scentsy spirit sparklers at all. Like I just wasn't there, but mentally I wasn't ready. But I mean, what am I gonna do? These people, my meetings are every month, the same time. I have to figure this out. So like Jill said, turn into your people. I'm like, all right, what am I going to do? I know this sounds really silly, but it does work. And I find myself doing it frequently. I either turn into my friends or I tune into things that make me happy. That particular day, what I decided to do very last minute before the meeting was I Googled positive quotes. I know that sounds really silly, but what I did was I put them all, I printed a bunch of positive quotes. I quickly glued them to some cardstock I had laying around, and I made my whole team meeting about positive quotes. And basically I put them face down. I had everybody pick up a different quote and they read it. And somehow everybody who got a quote, it resonated with them. So when you're having a down day and you don't feel very Scentsy or whatever, it's important to find things that will change the way you think and feel. I avoid things I know will make me sad, like Lifetime movies. I no longer watch those all day on a Sunday. I watch only comedy things. I just avoid the things that will bring me down and the people who will keep me there. And I try to surround myself with the people and the things that will make me more productive and positive. And there are days where I don't want to work, but that's the kind of the right that we've all earned, what, you know, by owning our own business. We just can't stay there because there's nobody you're turning into. You're not turning into a boss. You're not going to get fired from a job. So the only person you're letting down when you stay down is your team. So just remember not to stay down. Jill, can you mute?
I'm watching and muting.
Okay. We've got, good. Okay. So that's my advice to that.
So I'm guessing that leaves me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's in
mindset.
What is it?
What'd you say?
Jill, you got to mute all the lines again. Thank you.
Good to go. Did we, Annette and Rebecca, are you able to hear now? Because I think it's a volume setting for you, because everybody, you can hear, right? Everybody, I think by now, if you couldn't, we'd have a lot more chat saying that they can't. Mindset. I think, especially what Jody said, is it's kind of the environment and the people that you surround yourself with. That's a really big one. One of my favorite quotes is, show me who your 5 closest friends are and I'll show you where you'll be in 5 years. And that is like one of the biggest, that's probably one of my top 3 favorite business quotes, along with never be the smartest person in any room you're in. Because if you are the smartest person, you are not learning. And but same goes with positivity, and my girls know this, so I'm watching. I know Cassie's gonna nod and Becca's gonna nod, and my girls know, like, we put a positive spin on things. There is going to be negative situations all the time. There is going to be shipping delays and products on back order and products out of stock in 3 minutes, and customers that you took a pre-order and you can't get it for them. And it just means you got to work a little bit harder behind the scenes when that happens, right? How your customer reacts to something is going to be completely based on how you act toward that thing. So and we see this all the time, the consultants that complain are the ones whose customers are complaining, because that's who they're surrounding themselves with. That's the precedence they're setting. So when your mindset is, listen, okay, if the product's out of stock, and I'm gonna be sorry that I said this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. If a product goes out of stock, it just means you have a little bit more work to do on the backside for your customer. If somebody adamantly needs that product or wants that product and you weren't able to get it for them, that just means you're casting your net out to your consultant network and you'll work to find that warmer for them. There is always an answer and a solution and somebody that you can lean on in this business that can help you keep your positive mindset. If you downward spiral with the negative consultants or the negative situations, or you let situations define you and define your business, then that's what you're going to be a product of. And so when it comes to mindset, it's taking adversity, it's taking negativity, it's taking unfortunate events, it's taking bad information and putting a positive spin. How can I turn this into a positive situation? Okay, this product sold out, but this is another prime example. I can't sell anything because all the good scents are sold out right now. Really? So there's 7 maybe that are out at the moment, and we know they'll be back. And there's 90 other fragrances available. And it's all in how you present it. So if somebody says, I really wanted cider mill, and you say, okay, it's temporarily out of stock. I know it's going to be back in stock because it is one of our favorite scents. So I did this with a customer. I said, let's pick 2 other scents in place of your 2 cider mills right now. Pick 2 other scents. And when cider mill comes in, I'll get them for you. Do you think she cared? She bought more from me because of that. So mindset is extremely important in this business. And if you find yourself downward spiraling, you need to find a friend that is on an upward spiral. Okay? Because how you do anything is how you do everything. And that's my 3rd favorite quote. How you do anything is how you do everything. And I'm going to turn it over to Kelly.
Well, a freaking men. And I'm so glad that I kind of just threw that out there because there's so many things that all of my friends touched on today already that will tie in perfectly to what I have planned for today for Mindset to Success. And I want to start by saying tonight, Jill knows this because she was on Zoom, but I disappeared for a while and I came back and I said, I don't know how I'm going to do this tonight. This whole training is on Mindset to Success. And right now, I was in tears, mind you, at the moment. My mind is not where it's supposed to be. My mind is not in a successful, great mind today. But then it was, okay, maybe that's exactly what you need, is to dive in and be around people that motivate you and inspire you and share how to overcome those types of things. And then also hear from my peers how they do those same things. So I'm really excited about this. I know that this is the one thing that we all have control over. And I love that Melissa said that we focus on what we can control, right? How we react to things or how we do anything is how we do everything is a quote that we live by day in and day out. And actually it's really funny because my stepdad, Terry, and I, we will joke all the time with certain things and we'll say, oh, well, there goes mom doing this again, because how we do anything is how we do everything. Oh, there you go doing that again, because how you do anything is how you do everything. It's just so very true. So I'm going to dive in kind of to what I have prepared for tonight. And it's the first thing I want to say, and this is going to be a really tough love statement, is I am going to walk you through several exercises and give you several tips as to how you can control what happens in your business, no matter how much time you have in a day. And I'm going to give you very specific tasks, and they're not hard. They really are not hard. But if you cannot commit to an hour of planning in your business, besides this little bit that we have here tonight, then I'm going to be very tough love and say you shouldn't be on this training because it won't serve you. This is all going to be about what you can control, okay? And that is your mindset and what you do to be successful in your business. So the very first thing I want you to do is grab a piece of paper, and I want you to start by writing down what you would do if money wasn't an object. If money was not an object, what would you do? What would you have? Who would you bless? What debt would you pay off? If money was no object. Just start brain dumping all of those different things that you would do. Now, I want to point out that there's probably a few of you are thinking that I don't even know why I'm writing this down. That's never going to happen for me. But I want to also point out that this is a process of mindset. Les Brown says, and if you haven't heard this before, it's possible. So anytime you have a negative thought pop into your mind, or you think I can't do that, or that's not for me, or that's something that happens for them in their business, but that's not my reality, or I can't really accomplish this. Whenever those itty bitty icky committee thoughts pop in your head, you have to immediately stop yourself in your tracks and say, it's possible, because it is. If I can do it, if Melissa can do it, if Jill can do it, if Jody can do it, if Heather can do it, if your director can do it, if all these other thousands of consultants can do it, so can you. Okay. One of my favorite quotes is what you think about, you bring about. So if you think about the negative, or you think about all the things that you can't do, or you think about the success that you're not having, that is what you're going to get. So I hope you've written down a whole list of things. Now, if you are an anal type and you like specifics, then go and write next to each of those items a brief dollar amount. What does that actually look like in a dollar figure to accomplish that item? Now, if you're not super, down into the details, you can just do a big, general, broad number of what it would take to accomplish what you wrote down. So write that number and give it a big old circle. If you write down the individual things, maybe do a quick math in your head. I know math is hard, and add up what that total would look like. Now, there is a reason that I'm starting with this. And many of you may have done this exercise before, and maybe you're dreaming bigger, or maybe you're thinking outside the box a little bit differently, or maybe this will resonate with you differently tonight, but it's going to be a huge part of moving through this mindset to success. So this ties into these checks, and I've trained on these a million times before. So if you've heard it, just bear with me a couple minutes longer. When this is over, you're going to be able to go to groupmakeithappen.com/mindset to success. And there is a toolbox of tools that I'm going to use tonight in our shift. And this is one of them. I've started including these even in our welcome packets for our group, because I think it's so valuable and important to know why you're doing what you're doing. Why do I want to focus on changing my mindset? And so what you're going to do is you're going to write one of these checks out to yourself. You're going to put that big number that you just wrote down and circled right here in this box. You're going to write your name. You're going to sign it yourself. And I really want you to think about this date. And I'm going to share with you a story real quickly. I have a friend whom I'm not going to name, and she attended one of our leadership retreats 2 years ago, actually a little over 2.5 ago. It was April of 2018. And she did this exercise at our retreat. And she contacted me a couple weeks ago, and she said, I think I'm going to get my check. When I was at that event, my biggest check was Scentsy, insert income disclosure statement here, you can find it on your workstation, was $2,500 for 1 month. And I set a big, hairy, audacious goal for me. And she said that was a $10,000 check, and I think I'm going to get it. And I said, oh, well, let me help you calculate that, right? I'd love to see how close you are as we wrap up the month. And so we sat down, and I was able to call her back and say, you're going to have that happen. And guess what? It's going to be a couple $1,000s more than you wrote on this check. But here's the even craziest part is that the date she wrote was October 10th of 2020. So that's happening for her tomorrow or on the 10th. We get paid typically a little bit early in region 1, but that's happening. What you think about, you bring about. So think it, ink it. I could tell you multiple stories about people that have done this exercise or something similar, and it has happened. But it doesn't happen by just writing it. It's going to take a mindset to success, and it's going to take consistency and daily action to make that happen. So the first thing I'm going to have you do is, once you've done this exercise, and maybe it's something that it's going to take you a few days to get through. Maybe you really feel like you need to think about that. What is my big, hairy, audacious goal? Is it okay for me to dream that big? Do I deserve that? And first of all, I'll tell you, yes, you do. But it might take you a moment. Once you've done so, I want you to take a picture of this, or you can scan it or whatever you want to do. And you're going to need 3 copies. 1, you're going to put on your bathroom mirror. Now, yes, I'm saying I want you to physically tape this to your bathroom mirror. And here's why. Every morning when you get up and brush your teeth, I want you to see this. Every night when you go to bed, you're going to see this. You're starting your day and you're ending your day thinking about the goals and why you're sharing your Scentsy business. Okay. The next one is put it on your refrigerator. I don't care if it doesn't match your home decor. I don't care if you can't stand seeing it on your fridge. If you want to have success in your business, you're going to do the things that maybe aren't super streamlined, right? Aren't super popular sometimes. The next thing is, wherever you find yourself consistently, do you have another job? Are you in your office? Are you in your car? Are you always finding you're opening the same closet multiple times in a day? Maybe it's your pantry. Put your 3rd copy there so you're seeing that where you spend a lot of your time. And then the last thing is when you do take a picture, set it as your screensaver on your phone, because we all know that we are on our phones day in and day out. And when you think about it, what you think about, you bring about. And so that is going to be this first step to having a mindset of success. The next thing is, this is going to be in that folder that I spoke about just a moment ago. And I'm sorry if it's in reverse, but this is success requires daily action. So every single month, you'll print one of these out, and right below your check, you're going to tape that on your bathroom mirror. So that in the morning, when you're brushing your teeth, and at night, when you're brushing your teeth, you're going to see and be remembered, okay, daily actions in my business are going to take me to success. There is a column for sales, parties, and recruiting. So as you go throughout your day, if you have, you're starting your day with that mindset of, okay, I'm working my business, I'm working towards this goal, and I know that I've got this also hanging below my check, right? And so you're going to think about the actions that you take throughout your day. And if you took an action throughout that day, when you go to brush your teeth at night, you can put a check mark next to the first of the month. Did I talk about sales in any way? Did I make a sale? Parties. Did I talk about parties? Did I book a party? Did I have a party? And then recruiting. Did I have a recruiting conversation? Did I offer the opportunity? All of those things. So you might have a check mark here and an X here and a check mark here. But obviously the goal is to get to all check marks, because you're doing something every single day in your business to have success. And you're seeing that result literally right in front of you morning and night. So that would be step number 2 to a mindset of success. Now, the next one is, and you guys can give me a raise of hand, you can nod your head, you can give the little like reaction thing, but how many of you own headphones? Everybody probably? Okay, I hope so. How many of you do chores around your house? Okay. Laundry, dishes, vacuuming. Do you shower? This one's for Jody. Do you listen to music when you shower? Do you talk to people while you shower? Yep, Jody does. So I know there's a few others out there, right? How about driving kids around and time doing Netflix? These all sound like things that a lot of us do throughout our day to day. During that time, commit to yourself to training your brain. Do not waste the time that you have. We all have the same hours in the day. We all have crap that is going on. We are all busy. We can all find every excuse in the book as to why we can't work our business, why we can't listen to that training, why we weren't able to do X, Y, or Z. But if we take the time that we have and we use it smartly, and you start to listen to these trainings that are readily available to us, then you're going to start thinking about your business more. You're going to be like, even if you can't focus and like watch the screen, subconsciously it's going into your head. If you are mindlessly folding laundry, why am I not listening to a training? My sister-in-law Candace is on here. She says, I don't even give the option to my children when we're driving places as to what we're going to fight over to listen to for music. We're going to listen to some sort of training. It might be Callie training, doing a random Facebook Live, and it might be a Thursday night shift. It might be a Saturday call, whatever that looks like. In this day and age, we have access to the tools to be successful in our business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with our headphones. We don't have to bother anybody else, and we can get it done. You're folding laundry now. I love that. Exactly. See? So that would be my next thing. If you truly want success in your business, your mindset is going to be, every opportunity I have, I'm going to listen to these trainings. There are the Thursday night shifts that we're here right now. You can listen to those on repeat. It takes 5 to 8 times for something to stick into our brains. And not only that, but sometimes even if you've heard it 5 to 8 times, until it's relative to us, or until we've had a circumstance that it really connects with us, we don't even think about it again. So you could listen to the same training probably 10 or 15 times and get something new out of it. So you've got your Thursday night shifts that you can listen to the replays. I know the other leaders here, they have ways that they share those with their groups. A really easy way, you can bookmark groupmakeithappen.com/Thursday replay, and that will take you right to a YouTube playlist with all of these past shift trainings that we've done. There's individual trainings that I know all of our groups do throughout the week. The home office has their all consultant trainings. They have their leadership trainings. They have the Facebook Lives with Sarah and Jason that you can access at any time on the All Consultants Facebook page. There is the Workstation Training Center, where you have access to so many trainings that you would never be able to get through them all, as well as all of the virtual training from Scentsy Family Reunion. We talked before we started this live about YouTube and how you can go to YouTube and you can search Scentsy and any topic you want to learn about, and you will find the answer. There's people like Jen, Audette, and Jill McCarthy, and all of the leaders here. There's Stacey Behringer, Chloe Cox, Christina Stainbrook, Kimberly Polita, Rachel Pence, and so many others that pour hours and hours of time into these trainings to help you be successful. But at the end of the day, it's up to us to take advantage of that, to train our brains, to be focusing on what is going to help us be successful and reach these big, hairy, audacious goals. So that is the next step to the mindset to success. Every day we're training our brain. What we think about, we bring about. And if you're thinking about your business and you're learning about the different ways you can grow, share, and experience Scentsy, it will become a natural part of your day. Simply listening to a training and having a quote to post. Melissa shared her favorite 3. I've shared several. There's been a lot of tips that these others have shared. And especially I feel like in this time that we are all experiencing, whether you're in Scentsy or you're not, mindset is very important. Our mental health is so important. And just sharing something like that could be what made someone else's day, which is going to lead me to my next, no, it's not. It's going to lead me, that will tie into my next one after this next part. So as you're listening to these trainings, I know one of the next things that's going to pop up and somebody is going to say is, okay, so I listened to the training and now I know how to do parties and I've got this all flowing in my brain as to how I can run my business because I've learned lots, but I don't have anyone to implement that with. My friends and family don't buy, nobody supports me, which first of all, what you think about, you bring about. And I hope that every time you have that negative thought, you think of that quote and you think, okay, wait, nope, I have to retrain my brain because what I think about, I bring about, and that is not the results I'm wanting to bring into my life. So if you can't think of anybody to share your business with, or nobody buys that you've currently been working with, Heather Gorsuch shared this training with us, Shining Star Heather Gorsuch, last night when we were joking with her on a training about that. She loved being reminded that she's this year's Shining Star. And that is the bubble exercise. So you can go to heathergorsuch.com/bubble. You can go to groupmakeithappen.com/bubble. And it is going to lead you to a YouTube video that teaches you how to do the bubble exercise. And basically what it is you will start with yourself. And it's a web. I'm sure you've made those web type things back when you were a kid or something, right? And so, okay, so my mom would be one of my little legs here. And then my sister would be another leg. And my cousin Brittany would be this one. And okay, so if Brittany has she's a dental hygienist. So that would then be a leg off of her. So that's kind of how that bubble exercise works. And you can access it and see a whole breakdown on that video. So when you're doing this, when am I going to do this? You said, Callie, I only need to take an hour of time to implement these few things, figure out my dream, print out my different sheets, right? Put them on my mirror, put them where I'm going to see them daily. You said it's only take me 30 minutes. When am I going to continue to do that bubble exercise? How about when you're sitting at carpool, picking up your kids, you're watching a show with your family, you can just grab a piece of paper and doodle. Heck, even if you're taking a bath, you can grab a piece of paper and doodle. Whenever you have a free second, we need to be training our brains to work our business. If that is one of your core excuses is I don't have time, then that's the first thing you have to stop and a way to train your brain to think differently. The next thing is you're thinking, okay, maybe your circle really is small. And I'm going to say, thank you, Heather, for this one again, your dirt list. We've all heard the expression you can buy of those people that can sell ice to an Eskimo, but there's also those people that love you so much that if you were selling dirt, they would buy it from you, right? So dirt list, write down those people that if you were selling dirt, they love you that much, they would buy that dirt from you. And those are the first people that you're going to create a bubble exercise for. They are all going to have their own little bubble exercise. And then that way, when you're ready to implement all these things that you're hearing about and you're training your brain to think about, to do in your business, then you're going to have these lists of people to reach out to. And then when they tell you, oh, I can't host a party for you, I don't know anybody. Oh, great, I already did this bubble exercise for you and I have your whole guest list prepared. Now, if you don't know who somebody is in their circle, it's Sally's first cousin's ex-wife. I'm sure if you wrote that down on their bubble exercise, took a picture of it and texted it to them, they would know who Sally's first cousin's ex-wife was, right? So don't think too much about the details, just write it down. Okay, the next thing is So this is going to sound a little crazy. And in this day and age, it's actually a lot easier and better to do than it was when I grew up with this happening in my life. Growing up, my family was very different. If you know my mom, Becca Levi, she is a bit eccentric. And that is not just in her Scentsy journey, that has been our whole lives. And whenever we were doing something or she was doing something, she would always focus on mindset. And I know that I'm very blessed that I was raised having that kind of outlook in my life. Because again, as we're talking tonight, mindset is so powerful. So when I was growing up, around my entire house, we had basically a piece of paper like this, no fun fonts, no cool design, nothing, taped on every wall. And it was a random quote or some positive affirmation that she needed to remember for whatever she was going through in life, or something that she wanted us to remember. Now we're lucky. What I meant by we're lucky in this day and age is you can go to Hobby Lobby and pick up pretty much any quote or any sign or make one on a letterboard that you would ever be wanting, right? So that is what I want you to start thinking about. What are you surrounding yourself with? Whether it's on your personal wall in your home, your brick and mortar home, if it's your wall on your social media, if it's what's coming through your text messages, if it's the circle, those 5 people that you spend the most time with, are they inspiring you and motivating you to the next level? Are the things that you're surrounding yourself with positive? So I'm going to start you out by having 4 times a day to which you are going to be surrounded with positivity. Another file that you're going to find in that Dropbox that I mentioned at the beginning is this business affirmations sheet. Okay. And I know it's gonna be really hard to read because it's a lot, but you will find it and it's exactly like this. But what this is it's affirmations for sales, booking parties, and recruiting and building a team. So again, one of my favorite quotes is, whether you think you can or can't, you're right. Whether you think you can or can't, you're right. And it goes back, and I even put this on the sheet again, as Les Brown says, it's possible. So as you go through these affirmations and you say to yourself, wait, that's not what I'm experiencing. That's okay. I'm going to change that. And I'm going to say, but it's possible, just like Les Brown. So there's affirmations such as, I am thankful for my wonderful customers. Gratitude goes a long way. A grateful heart leads to better success. I attract loyal customers. I have high party sales. Booking parties is so easy for me. I'm attracting go-getters to join my team. Building a team is easy for me. Okay. So you're going to have this full list in that Dropbox that you can print, or you don't have to print it, just pull it up. And this is going to be one of those things where I'm talking about that hour of time that you're going to prepare your mindset to move forward. Set reminders in your phone for 4 times a day. Maybe it's 9 a.m., noon, 5:30, 8 p.m., with an affirmation from each of those areas. It could be, you say, you know what, this month I really need to focus on parties. So I'm going to take those party affirmations and I'm going to put those into a reminder that pop up on my phone throughout the day. Now, I know I did this when it came to drinking water. I had a water reminder, and I got to the point where I just kept ignoring it. But the thing is, when that alarm goes off and you go to swipe to hit ignore, you're going to remember that. You're going to see that as you're swiping through, and that will help you in having that successful mindset. I have a team member, and she's on this call tonight, but I'm not going to call her out, but she would say, oh my gosh, my downline, she just keeps coming to me and saying, oh my gosh, this is so easy. I keep having all this success. Oh my gosh, this is just happening. And this team member of mine said, I'm not having that. And I'm so frustrated. I can't stand her saying she's having all this success. I'm not finding it's that easy. And I stopped and I said, well, let's think about what she's saying, and let's think about what you're saying, and what type of results are you having, right? So that's what it comes down to. What you think about, you bring about. And I know I've said that several times, but it's because it's true. Okay, next thing for mindset to success. How many of you guys scroll social media? Yeah, most of us do, right? I know that we're all guilty of pooping and posting, right? We were talking about this on our leadership call earlier last week. You poop and post, or you poop and scroll. We all know we do it. That's going to become a thing. And you can thank Robbie Vitale for that. But here's, yep, see, I'm seeing all the yeses, all the yeah. And I'm not reading the chat super closely because I'm super ADD and I'll squirrel and I really want to focus. I'm trying to focus, get through all this. But we are all guilty of pooping and scrolling. So when you scroll social media, I want you to create a rule for yourself. Okay. You cannot scroll until you share something about your business. You cannot scroll until you share something about your business. So that means that when you do start to scroll, you need to have ideas to post and share. And so you're going to want to follow the accounts and people that inspire you and that motivate you. If you can't physically surround yourself with the people that will take you to that next level to increase your circle of 5, then we have to do our very best. And thankfully, in this day and age, social media is a huge thing. Follow accounts that are positive. Follow accounts that are showing positive affirmations. Follow those that are being successful in their business, that are kind, that have that forward thinking, arrows out, generosity mindset. Those are the people that you want to surround yourself with. And as you do that, you will come across things that you can share before you scroll. So when you poop and post, it's going to be, or you poop and scroll, now it's going to be poop and post, and you're going to have those things to which you can share that are positive, that are uplifting, that are for your business, that are going to help you grow. And then as you surround yourself by better people, your mindset will grow. And I'm not saying, I know that sounds kind of bad, I'm not saying you all surround yourself with horrible people, but we all know those accounts. And my husband just was saying yesterday how he had to go and put a delay on some certain people until after the election because he couldn't stand to see what they were posting anymore. We all know we have those people. So if you can't unfollow, you can't unfriend fully, you can go and just put them on a quick pause, and so that your feed is full of people that bring you joy and bring positivity into your circle. Some people, and this list is so very limited. There are so many incredible accounts out there to follow. I love following, obviously, my friends that are here. I feel like they all post really great content, positive, motivational, inspirational posts. Maybe it's your team members so that you can cheer them on. I love following personally like Rachel Pence, Chelsea Otto, Stacey Behringer, my mom, Stacey Stanchu, some other accounts that I really follow and that I've fallen in love with, and I should have written these down and I kept forgetting to do so. One of them is... oh, no, I'm not gonna be able to find her, dang it. But I really love her account because, and I will find it and add it to one of the lists in this Dropbox. But I love her because she posts, I love to do my own graphics, right, for my business. And she posts not only design things, but motivational and inspirational quotes. So you can also follow hashtags on social media, or on, not social media, on Instagram. So you can follow a specific hashtag. So if you're looking for something specific to help you through a circumstance or positivity or design or home decor or whatever that is, you can follow that and connect with others that are on that same path. Okay, so that's the next rule is we are going to, before we poop or before we scroll, we're going to post something for our business. And that way we will be sharing something for our business every single day. So here's the thing. After we do all of this initial setup and you implement these things into your business, the main point of this is that you are going to be working smarter, not harder. You're going to take the same 24 hours that we all have in a day, and it will move you towards a mindset of success. So instead of spending that time on Netflix, we're going to change our future. If you worry about those papers being taped on your mirror, remember that it's only temporary, or until you can go buy a cute quote or have one painted and designed as to something that really spoke to you and helped you get through this journey and get to the next level. If you can't take the time to implement this and train your brain, then the tough love is you don't want it bad enough. So at the end of the day, what we think about, we bring about, and that will help shift us into success with a positive mindset. So that is what I have in regards to positive mindset. Again, these files can all be found by going to groupmakeithappen.com/mindset to success. And you will be able to download all of them. And last but not least, actually, I forgot about one thing because this wasn't initially part of my plan, but last night, Jen Audette shared this to her group and I really, really loved it. I don't know who created it, but hope is not a business plan. And so once you start implementing these things, having some actual business goals to look towards, I think is very important. And so this file is also, there's a lot on this page, so you're not gonna be able to snag it all, but it is also in that mindset to success folder. And it's basically setting monthly goals for you to strive towards in your business. It talks about things you might want to talk about with your sponsor, things you might want to do differently than you did the month before. What are your personal goals? What are, do you have parties booked, recruiting leads that will help you as you're going through this process of who am I talking to? Who am I following up with? And having those day-to-day successes in your business. So yes. Does any of my co-leaders here have anything that they thought about through that they would like to share or add on?
Well, I'll say something.
Me too.
And I love when you do.
So, I used to listen to things like this earlier in my Scentsy career, and I would think, yeah, she's telling me to pull out a piece of paper and write this stuff down, and I'll do it. Or she's telling me to post this check on my mirror, and I'll do it. And I should write my check. I mean, I understand what she's saying about it. Like, I get it, but I know what my goal is. I know what my check is that I want. And so I'm just going to keep it here. And I know. And the thing is, when we fall victim to letting these things live here, but not here, we aren't reminded of them often enough. And so I did the check exercise with Callie at a retreat a couple years ago, and completely transparently and honestly, I will tell you that the number that I wrote down on my check was a number I wasn't sure that I would ever see with Scentsy. It was a number that I've wanted all along. It's a number that, 2012 was my best year in Scentsy, and I haven't had a 2012 check again. And when I wrote this amount on my check, and no, I haven't hit it yet, but when I wrote this amount on my check, I thought, man, I just don't know that I will ever see it. And I doubted myself. But it's posted right here on my shelf, and I see it every day. And I will tell you that this past month, I've gotten within range of that check. And having that remind me is pushing me, because even though I know in my head what I want the number to be, if we're not conscious of it and we don't see it often, and it isn't in front of us to remind us, it's easy for us to fall short. It's easy for us to forget why we're pushing on. And so when I look at it, I'm like, man, I'm so close, and it keeps me pushing. And so it is important. This isn't Callie sharing just a really, a ton of really good tools, and it all sounds good, and it was a great training tonight. But literally let it sink in. Visit that link, thegroupmakeithappen.com/mindset to success, and pull yourself those tools and let it sink in. And don't be the person that says, that's somebody else, that's not me. Don't be the person that says, I'm not going to do that. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Be pushed and keep yourself pushing forward, because your mindset is truly what helps you hit that end goal. Okay, I'm done. Callie, awesome job tonight. That training was fantastic.
Thank you. And you know what, Melissa, you can look at it as fluff. You can look at it as that's a woo-woo crazy. Does that really happen? No, my life is different than yours. That's not going to happen for me. And guess what? My response to that would be is, whether you think you can or can't, you're right. That's exactly what you tell yourself is what's going to happen. So.
And those that you're watching and those that you're looking up to, and those that are inspiring you in your business are doing these things. And that was a really big wake-up call for me, is that I wanted to be, I was here and I wanted to be here, but if I don't do the things that people are doing that are here, how am I going to get there? So when I say the check thing may have sounded silly to you when Callie first said it, or it may have seemed not necessary, but when you hear those that you look up to in the business and that you want to be where they are and they're doing it, then do those things, because we still live by that. if somebody that, that I look up to in this business is doing something, I want to know what it is so that I can try to do it in my way, but at least do it. So yeah, awesome job, Callie.
I have a confession. So back in the early days of, of my business, I did all the things. I did all the trainings. I had the dream board. I used to, like Melissa said, if someone was doing it, well, I got to try and find my way to do something in that similar category. But then somewhere along the way, I got lazy or complacent or comfortable. I'm not sure what the word is. And I stopped doing those things. And what happened when I stopped doing some of those things is I stopped hitting my goals. And I've heard Kelly give this talk before, and I don't know why today it's hitting me. And during this call, I printed my checks. I printed 4. I will write them and laminate them. I will put them in 4 different places. And I do love quotes. I'm a quote person, but how you do anything is how you do everything is now written during this call and posted on my computer. I know that I have to make changes in my business if I want to see the growth that I once had. And that's not going to happen if I don't do something to make that happen. I don't have all the answers. And if you're looking to, any of us thinking we all have all the answers, sometimes we don't. But what we do have is we have each other, and we have the ability to, we know we have to have a positive mindset, because if you don't, I can tell you right now, you're not going to go anywhere. We've been here. All of us have been here a long time, and we've seen consultants who we knew had it in them. If they would stop with the negativity, they could have done something with their business, but they didn't stop. They let that negativity come in and ruin what we knew would have been a life-changing business. So don't sit there and listen to all of us and think we have all the answers or we know everything, or you can never be like us, because we were all there too. If you think that I came from the ghetto. I literally grew up in the ghetto. If you would have ever told me that I wasn't going to stay there or raise my children there, I would have thought you were crazy. But everything I've done in my life, just like many of you, is to do something more, to do something better, to learn more, personal growth. All of those things matter. So these little things like writing this check that may sound silly to you, it's not. This can change everything for you. Why it's taken me, so long to do this, I don't know. But I'm going to do it because for some reason it hit me tonight. So you guys have to believe what Callie said tonight is so true. What you put out there is what's going to come back. And if you're just putting out those negative vibes, that's what's going to come back into your life. If you want a life full of positivity and, greater personal growth and personal wealth, then you have to be willing to change how you're going to go get it, how you're going to view the world, and how you view yourself. You are capable. Everyone here is capable. I know it, because if I did it, anybody on this screen can do it without a doubt. So thank you, Callie, for once again being my very much younger, wiser friend. I love you dearly.
It's so funny because what's funny is I've been hearing that training, and it's the one thing that I can say has kept me on track for all going into 12 years. Like, I've dealt with some adversity, like crazy stuff. And I was listening, big football house. We was listening to football today. And one of the announcers just said, I say this to my people all the time, don't victimize yourself, put your head down and keep on moving. And it's true. Like, you have to keep going. And you do get stuck in those days where you're just like, but I don't want to, I want to feel bad. Or, you're allowed to have those minutes. But like I said in the very beginning, you have to say, okay, I'm going to take an hour, or I'm going to take a day, or I'm going to take a week, whatever it is, but fully know you have to jump back in. And this should be proof, like all of these superstar directors or leaders that have been doing this 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 years are still doing these same things, writing our checks and putting our quotes out and doing all these same exercises, because you're going to have these days. Adversity is going to hit. Life is going to hit. You're going to move. You're going to, stuff is going to happen. I hope not, but it's impossible to go through life without adversity, without having a bad day. So you just have to prepare for it. We're here right now. If you haven't gone through everything and everything's been hunky-dory great, congratulations. That's awesome. But you're going to hit some adversity, whether it's life issues, family issues, depression, who knows, whatever it is, it's going to happen. And how you deal with it is going to determine what road you take. But please know you're never alone. It's not just, oh, why does everything come easy to her and not me? Right? A lot of us think that. Why does everything look so easy for her? Like, we might not put it all out there, but every day one of us is dealing with something. And it's how you deal with it that determines whether you take a left and sit on the bench, or you take a right and you power through it and you decide, what did that just teach me? How did I become stronger today? And that is the only difference between people who are promoting and people that get to certified and say, no one will buy from me. There's no one out there. I can't do this, and go sit on the bench. You just got to push through it and learn and figure out new ways to tackle things that are coming your way.
Some thoughts that kind of ran through my brain as they were talking was, when I get off this training call, I have 30 minutes and I'm going to go do our new consultant training call for our group. They're not going to have any idea that I had to set a timer today for how long I could wallow in my crap, right? Literally set an 1.5 hour timer. That's all the time I had, because then after that, I've got to move. I've got to change my circumstances. I am the only one that can make a difference in that, right? Some other things are, Valerie had posted that Jim Carrey wrote himself a $1,000 check. I can sit here and I have multiple stories that I can tell you of people that have done this exercise and achieved it. If you look back, Stacey Behringer, she did the same exercise. She posted when she hit that and she beat it by over $3,000. Kathy Zaborski, she didn't do the check, but she had a $2 bill and she had a glass top on her desk, and she wrote 4 zeros behind that 2 on that $2 bill, put it in the desk. And that was her motivation to achieve that. And then when she did it, her husband came running in with the $20 bill and said, all right, do it again, but add more zeros, right? And put it under the desk. Who else? There was another one that I had written down here, but there's so many people that do these things, and they learn to train their brain and surround themselves with people that lead them to success, and they make it happen. And that is the difference between those who stay stuck and those that make it happen. Nothing, and as Heather said, and it's actually in the bottom of this, and I'm not saying we're wrapping it up, but Heather always says, if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you have a whole bunch of X's on this page that's taped on your mirror, nothing changed, and everything in your business will stay the same, which means your circumstance will probably stay the same. Is Jen on? Did Jen not make it on?
I haven't been off my screen.
Okay.
I think Heather was on. I think I saw her pop on.
I want to, if Jen's on, one of her things is we do another exercise called I Dared to Dream. And Jen had done that exercise with us multiple times. And she opened up an envelope, or it fell out of a book, this paper that she had done this exercise on. And it's similar to what I had you guys write down with all the things that you would accomplish if money wasn't an object. And everything had been checked off on that Dare to Dream card, except for an African safari. Well, what was our incentive trip a few years back? I remember sitting in Nashville. We didn't have assigned seats that year. And they said Nashville as an African safari, can't talk, English is hard. They said Africa as an incentive trip. Melissa got to go on that one with Jen. And that was the last thing on her dream board. And so, of course, she knew she had to make that happen, because A, Scentsy's giving her the incentive, and B, it's the last thing to check off. She'd accomplished everything else on that dream board card Dare to Dream list. So Reagan, where you said you did not make one yet, guess what you're doing? You're making a dream board, because what we think about, we bring about. Think it, ink it. If you want it to happen, you've just got to put it out there. You've got to believe it.
So I could share an experience about that. I look horrible. I'm sick in bed, so I'm not turning my video on. But and I learned this from Callie and Becca, their training long time ago, about how important visualizing yourself where you want to be. And my very first convention, I saw, it was only like 4 months into my business, and I saw the theme was the power of one. And it was, I think a lot of people were impacted by that convention that were there. And I looked across the big stadium we were, and there was tons of these little blue people, meaning we all get like team shirts. So it was like a team of like blue team shirts. And there was probably about 50 people there. And I just sat there and looked, and I said, wow, one person started that. one person decided to say yes to offering the opportunity and giving other people an opportunity that it was given to them. And from that moment on, I was like, I want that. I want to be able to come to reunion one year and have a bunch of blue t-shirts with me. And then I saw an awesome speaker, which you guys may know her. She's a Superstar director, Jamie Sullins. And she talked about, she was on stage, she talked about finding the person, find you in a consultant, like traits that you have, your drive, your whatever. And I just sat there and I said, I want to be on that stage one day, sharing my story and sharing my dreams and that have come true. And so I printed out a picture of that stage and put it on my dream board so I could see it everywhere I go. And let's see, that was 2011. In 2015, I was actually visualizing myself like even more on stage, sharing my story. I was in Greece on a bus. We were going somewhere for an incentive trip to, somewhere to see. And I visualized, I put myself there. I saw the crowd, I saw everything. And then I got home on a Sunday, and Monday morning, they gave me a call and asked to share my story on stage for the 2015 reunion. And that same year, I just happened to have blue t-shirts, and my entire team of angels were able to sit front and center while I was speaking on stage with my husband. And I saw all the little blue people that I visualized. And it's still one of the most amazing experiences and achievements I've ever had, because it wasn't because I wanted the recognition or people will see me on stage. It was, I wanted to be able to do something with my life that would hopefully inspire others to do the same. And so that's what the accomplishment was. And then also I wanted to see that I was able to visually see that I've given the opportunity to other people to hopefully, so it'll hopefully impact their lives like it has mine. So it's definitely, people think that visualization, printing things out and actually putting yourself in that place, feeling the stage, feeling what the sounds will look like, what, everything very specific is, not important, but it is so important. And it's funny because I think Jody just shared how she stopped doing some of the things that got, that we all used to do. And it's true. We get, things happen and life changes and we get complacent, but it's so true. It's these very important small things that make such a huge difference.
Amen. Amen. Love it. So exciting. And yes, very true. Another prime example of that visualization and seeing yourself there, thinking about it, which then brings it to fruition. I love that. Love. All right, you guys, we are getting here to the top of the hour. Is there?
Thank you.
Now it's about 118 of you paying all that information forward, always teaching your teams this exact same training. Callie and Becca taught it to me 12 years ago, and now it's up to all of you to keep showing your team, because it only takes one person and one message to change one business.
And you could be the one that takes everything we shared tonight, implements it, and you'll be the one sharing your story of success with your team and
your check.
Yeah, why it's so important to visualize that. So
I'm scared to write my check, but I'll share it when I do, so you guys can know that I actually did it.
looking forward to it.
Oh, I'm a little bit nervous.
Because I know it's gonna be a big one.
I got to dream big, and that's my problem. I don't know how to do that. I'm not a dreamer. I'm a realist, so it's very hard to dream, but we're working on it. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for spending some time with us again on our Thursday night shift. We look forward to seeing you guys all next week.
And if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Night, everyone. Love you all.
Jill, are you always the last one to hang up?
Yeah, I don't like goodbyes. I say it every week. So I'll see y'all next week.